The video is entitled "We Can Make Something Out of Nothing," and I had a reason for doing that. Okay, look, this is cornbread, and what I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna mix a little bit more. I don't need to add too much flour with it, but I'm gonna do it to show how great we are, how we can take something and make nothing out of it. I don't know if it's just not. They told me that from our father's side. I remember going to my father's sister's house, and I noticed that they all cooked, and she made one statement, and I never understood. It's a byword though. They drank coffee, but they cooked. They definitely was a cook. Cooks from the whole family side. They could cook gumbo. Well, see, I don't eat that. I don't eat it like that no more. But like when I was 15, when I was very young, I remember we went to our dad's brother's house. They called him Uncle Minoon, and I seem like I still can taste the taste of that gumbo right now. That was a professional gumbo that was cooked. But yeah, when I was eating everything in it, everything it was. You see what I'm saying? Up until I turned around like 17 years old. You see what I'm saying? And yeah, that's what I did. And the reason I'm making this video saying that we can make something out of nothing is because, like, a lot of stuff I never cooked before. Cornbread I never cooked before. And it remind me of the scripture in the Bible. Let's read that. I'm not a big eater on rice no more. I used to eat it a lot, but look at that. The way we cook, people say, man, how do you cook rice? How do you cook it like that to keep it from being gummy? Well, you just put less water. You put a little bit more rice, and you put it on like a slow boil and just let it steam. Because if you let it boil too hard, it's gonna crumble it up, and the rice will be all mushy and like smeared, like it'll have a smear, smashed taste, and you ain't eating nothing but just gummy rice. You see what I'm saying? So when it comes to everything, that's why I say we can make something out of nothing. Stuff like this, that's flour, and you have something like I'm gonna read the script. Cornmeal. You see what I'm saying? If we got something like that, we pretty much can do anything. We can take something and make it take nothing and make it taste like something. You know? We can take something and make it that's nothing and make it taste like something. You see what I'm saying? But back in those days, years ago, like even before my mother's time, before my time, definitely. The older people, they didn't need no recipes. None of that. They definitely didn't need no recipes. Because they just naturally knew how to put something. You know how they be asking grandma or whatever, asking y'all know what I'm talking about. Grandma, what you put in this stuff? How you know how much stuff to put in here? And she'd be like, well, you just try things, you learn things by just trying things out. And I think that was a good wise thing. Lord have mercy. Everything. Now I'm going to put it back in the water for it to be washed. So once it hit the floor, put it in the water. Or we scald it off, but I put it in the water. It just had to fall. But anyway, man, just as I was interrupted, the older people would be like, the way we do, we just, you learn things by trying things out. I didn't just wake up one day and just say, I knew how to, sometimes I failed at it, but I realized that way didn't work and it messed up everything. And so I just said, oh, okay, you learn by not putting too much flour in it. You see what I'm saying? How you get cornbread is to be fluffy, like really good, crummy and fluffy. Just don't overly put flour in it, because if you overly put flour in it, it's going to like rise up, but it's going to be tasting like thick bread, like too much like thick bread, and you ain't really tasting the corn in it. You know, like what I'm saying, the real corn, because you done drained it out with a lot of flour. You blended too much flour in with the bread, and therefore you don't have a chance just to take. Now, when I'm done with this here, I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. Just make the key word is to make sure you don't put too much flour in with the cornbread. You know, that way you can taste more of the corn and you get a lot of the bread. Like you can tell when it's really good because it's more cornbread and fluffy too at the same time. You see what I'm saying? But if you put overly, I might do it on purpose one day and just show you what I'm talking about, how to mess it up. Just take a little bit and just mess it up on purpose. Now you can tell this here is okay. You can tell it's okay because you can tell it's kind of like smoothing out. It ain't too much flour. It ain't too less flour. Just a couple of pinches of it. You see what I'm saying? Back in the day, I'm gonna tell y'all something I never said. I remember when I was in the Adventist church when I was into Christianity, right? We had to where people would come together and everybody would take turns. Some of the people in the church would take turns and they would cook, and they would announce it before the congregation and say, we having a feed out at the house. Or at our house, or sometimes they have it at the church. Different ones would get together, and sometimes they would bring different vegetarian dishes and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? And we came together, and then people prayed and people ate and stuff like that. That's when I was involved in Christianity. You know, not knocking anybody that's an Adventist that get this message. This is not a degrade to the people who I honor and respect as leaders and stuff like that, as the pastors and stuff like that. But I just didn't, and we just didn't know all the truth. They gave us what they knew. They gave us the information that they knew. They might have been unaware of certain things. So I'm not going to sit here and just chop them down. But I am going to say is Christianity is white supremacy. I will say that. Definitely Christianity is white supremacy. Seventh-day Adventist was created by a so-called white man by the name of William Miller, L.G. White. All of them was so-called white people. You see what I'm saying? So you don't want to follow nothing that's. Let's go to Leviticus right quick. Leviticus chapter 4, and I'm going to make reference to how you season stuff and you put just the right amount of ingredients and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to show y'all that that's Bible prophecy, how we like stuff that is very seasoned. My brother actually helped me out with that scripture that speaks on him a lot. You know what I'm saying? Leviticus, I think it's Leviticus 1. Yeah, no, my bad. Leviticus chapter 2 and verse 13. Leviticus chapter 2 and verse 13. It says, and every oblation of thy meat offering shall thou season with salt. See, that's natural for the Israelites to do. Neither shalt thou suffer the salt of the covenant of thy God to be likened from thy meat offerings. With all thy offerings thou shalt offer it with salt. See, it's naturally inbred in us. Is when we taste food, we want to make sure we have that good tasting it, and we do what my point is, we do a good job at it. We do a damn good job at what we do. Like, to me, this is something. I see all of this. I might just turn the camera up some kind of way. I ain't got nobody to help me hold it to show y'all. You can tell that this is good because it's got a smooth, it ain't overbreaded. And that's the key word. You don't want to be overbreaded with this here. You want to have more of the real cornbread, you know? Hold on. I never really made a video like this. Hold on. I ain't got nobody to help me hold it or nothing like that. I ain't had nobody to help me. It's kind of hard to. Hold on, let me do something right quick. So I think that's enough because I don't want to mess up that. But what I can do is I definitely can show it. Wait a minute. Yeah, see how you can see you don't want to blend it in too much flour and nothing like that. You just want to blend it in to where you can see more of the yellow cornmeal and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to, like, if you overflour it and you put it in there, it's like you tasting a more like of the flour cornmeal, like you eating a biscuit or something, and it just wouldn't be right. You know what I'm saying? But crummy, it has to be like smooth crummy bread, like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Write in the comment section if you knew, if you understood what I just meant, the breakdown of what I just said about crummy, breaded, dry crummy and breaded and moist at the same time, like you eating, almost like you eating a cake. That's when you can actually tell. That's when you can actually tell is when your stuff is right. Now, what I'm fixing to do, I'm finna pour this up in the pan. That's why I say that you can tell who the Israelites are, because I remember a long time ago when I was in my 20s, I fixed some cabbages before. Never did it a day in my life. Never fixed it. Never fixed it. I did it one time, cut up some bell peppers and put it in there. Back in the day, I used to put some like all seasoning in my cabbage. It was really good. And they was really professionally cooked. And I remember one time, my mother asked, she said, what you put in there? I just put a little margarine, drained all the water out of it, because cabbages naturally make their own juice anyway. She said, what you? I said, I ain't put nothing in it. I just seasoned them up, drain all the water off of them, and just let them cook. Put some seasoning and just let them, and some onion, let them slow cook. And the cabbages wasn't all mushy up. You know how you put cabbages in a pot? For those of you who know something about cooking, you notice how you can cook them sometimes. You can put water in them, and you cook them, and then the cabbage come out real mushy and gummy, like they all tore up and smeared and stuff. But these cabbages wasn't like that. It was like they were steam cooked. They wasn't overcooked and they wasn't undercooked. They was just right. And I showed one of the when I was into the church, one time they said I bought a brother whom I looked up to as a father figure. His name was Mr. Ben Hammond. And I said, look at this food here that I fixed up. And he never tasted it. He never tasted it. He said, I can look at it and see that it's good. I can look at it and tell. From looking at it, that's how good the cabbages were. Something is so good, it's got such a natural taste to them until you can even just look at it and you can tell it's worth a damn. It's worth a damn. That means I put the work in on it. I did a good job. That's what it meant. That means you didn't do no. You didn't do a crazy ass job, a fucked up job cooking. You know what I mean? You wasn't playing. You put the burner on the fire. You know, I'm trying to use the right word, man. But I believe this is enough cornmeal. I put the pellet to the burner, if that makes sense. People can tell. So I'm trying to see if I can make a little gravy too. Use this here. That's what you call it. Supposed to be chicken gravy. But anyway, I want to say this here before I stick it on. I made some cakes back in the day too. Homemade cakes. All of it from scratch. Everything from scratch. Hey, what's up? Yeah, that's right. Howdy, my brother from another mother. It's my favorite time of the day. It's time to eat. That's right. Blessings and morning and prayer and Monday to you. Same to you. How it's going out yonder today. On my end, everything is good on my end. Yep. Everything is good on my end. I was just talking about how we as so-called people of color, so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American people, we can take something and make it, we can take nothing and make something out of it. We can take something that's nothing and can make something out of it. You know how it is back in the day when the older people, the grandmothers or whatever, they got in the kitchen and cooked. They just thought stuff, tried stuff out. They took, if you had flour, cornmeal or something, you can take that and make a meal out of it. You can take something and make it out of nothing. That's right. That's right. You can take something and make it out of nothing. And we're just gifted like that. But anyway, I made some pieces a while back. Years ago, when I was in my 20s, that's when I invited some people home when I was in the Adventist church, when I was into Christianity. And I invited all those people to my house. I think I told my, no, I'm not, I think I told my mother that, you know what, these people don't think that I went and bought these pieces. But I actually made them from scratch. And they said, you bought them. So when I told them that, no, I made them from scratch, they couldn't even believe it. You know? I said, I made them, literally did it from scratch at home myself. My grandmother used to make sweet butter cookies out of flour and butter. That's right. And we still can do it to this day. It's just naturally, here's a potato salad. People like my potato salad too. Not bragging, but people love my potato salad. But they don't make the meal and stuff. If you look at the ingredients and stuff today, they don't really make the ingredients as strong as they used to, from my point of view. Leviticus 2 and verse 13. Every oblation of thy meat offerings thou shalt season with salt. Neither shalt thou suffer the salt of the covenant of thy God to be likened from thy meat offering. With all thy offerings thou shalt offer with salt. That's talking about seasoning with salt means keeping with all the commandments of God, but it's used as an example to show us, just like we like our food fully seasoned with salt, and we like it, everything is to be perfect. We love it. We want it to taste right. We want everything to be right about it. that's the same way that our God wants. He wants us to season his stuff with salt by keeping all 613 of his commandments and stuff like that. He wants us to be 100% with him. You know what I'm saying? But you can tell that a lot of us is not really all the way seasoned because we falling after the ways of Esau, the so-called white man, and they telling us they turning you away from your God. And it's like he said, don't. Those are the commandments of men. He tells us to don't go out there and marry the gods of the nation by joining to them and doing what they do. You know? So I'm gonna put this up in the pan here. I might take it back and just pour it up. Hold on, and I think the key word is to make sure that all of the cornbread, you don't have no lumps, and it's all mixed in really good, and that you don't have no dried up lumps in here with it, you know. Yeah, you can tell that's pretty. It's gonna look like that's gonna be pretty good. Okay, let's put this in.
Grandma used to bake something with old bread and raisins and old bananas.
That's right. You can even take bananas and grind it up and put it in oatmeal. It'd be just as good. It tastes like the regular oatmeal you buy with the apples and fruits and stuff in it. My brother showed me that though. I mean, I know he got. I said, "Where you get that?" I said, "I think I'm gonna try that." He can cook anything. Anything. It ain't nothing he can't cook. This is the way our daddy's people was. Now, daddy's people, they call themselves Creole. I mean, that's what they went by from what I do, because I used to go. But I don't use that because that's a byword, and I don't want to use that. You know, but they said that they was like Creole or whatever, you know. Because I came over to their house one time and they say, you want some coffee or whatever? And I said, no, I don't drink that because I never knew what it was. They said, no, you ain't no Creole. They would be playing with me. And I didn't even know what the heck Creole was. And I really found out when I came into the truth that it ain't nothing but a byword. You know, so I really can't say that that's what that is. American Creole, and that I think they say all come from Haitian, but I'm not really sure about the roots of none of that. You know, I just know that they call themselves that or whatever. You know, but I really don't know. I'm not going. You know, it's just a byword at the end of the day. But the correct word for that would be Levi in the Bible. Hopefully that come out pretty good. The key word is make sure you don't put too much flour, because I think what it is, the flour take away the bread, the corn, the natural bread taste out of it. The fluffy bread, like you can tell if it's blended within too much flour, because it's gonna taste like it's gonna be kind of thick, like a thick biscuit, and you don't want it to be like that. You want it to be like a real bread, like the crumbs or something falling off. And that's how you can tell when it's actually a good of what it is, you know. So we gonna see. I just throwed it in the oven. So it's 7:44 p.m. So probably within about, I don't know, 25 minutes or something like that. 20 to 25 minutes, at least 25 minutes at the most. It should be good. We'll see what happens. We'll see what it's like. So where you from? Oh yeah, I put this rice too. Oh, I gotta put me some gravy on. I actually put some got some peas on too. I put that already. Let me see. Okay. What can I put this rice in? Could I put it in a container like this? That is a lot of rice. That would be a lot of rice. I'm not gonna eat all that. I just put some. I used to eat rice a lot, but I don't eat it a lot like I used to. I'm putting it over here to make sure none don't fall out on the floor. Eat all that rice. Try to be as sanitized as possible. Oh, I'll be back in there, y'all. How many y'all realize that? Remember when they used to rake stuff out the door, you know what I'm saying? When you didn't want the food, you just throw it out there. But you don't really see stray dogs and stuff around like you used to see years ago. They say it's country. Nowadays, people tie the old food up in the and what they don't want, and they take and tie it up and put it in a bag and take it to the dumpster like that. Watch the pot now.
I am hanging out yonder like wet clothes about to get out of yonder to the pasture and feed and go feed up the animals and have to run up, but today see what I could do with it. Oh, you got animals or whatever?
I wouldn't put no dog in my house. And for me, a lot of people like them. I don't really care for them like that. You know what I'm saying? I used to like them. I think I like them to an extent. I think I like them when they like certain dogs when they're vicious or something like that. You know, I like them when they're like watchdogs or something like that. Yeah, that's what I like. Now I'm gonna put some water in here. I'm gonna get this gravy. It's the best way to cook some gravy. See, put some cold water in here. So I have to rinse my hands off. Then I'm gonna take some big patties out the refrigerator, and I'm going to put them in there. Put it on the stove. I didn't put that much rice. I just put that much. I don't eat a lot of rice like I used to. I used to, but I don't no more. Whatever. I forgot it was something else. Oh, I gotta wash it. I'm gonna wash the lid and put on it. I'm rinsing the lid off now. I'm gonna put it on that pot. Shaking the water off. As y'all can see. Yeah, the so-called white men, they like all them dogs and stuff in their house and stuff. Dog hair going all over damn well. But we different. Yeah, we don't get down like that. The reason for that is there's a scripture here in the Apocrypha Ecclesiastes chapter 36, I think it is. Wait a minute. 24, 33. Okay, here we go. It says, I'm going to start at verse 1. The Apocrypha, Ecclesiastes 33:1. There shall no evil happen unto him that fears the Lord, but in temptation, even again, he will deliver him. A wise man hateth not the law. A wise man hateth not the law. And that's the reason why a lot of our people don't want to do it, because they hate God. A wise man, verse 2, hate the law. Hate not the law, I mean. A wise man hates not the law, but he that is an hypocrite therein is as a ship in a storm. 3, a man of understanding trusts in the law, and the law is faithful unto him as an article. That means the Bible. Articles mean the scriptures. Okay, I just want to make. Prepare what to say. Prepare what to say. Verse 4. Prepare what to say, so that thou shalt be heard, and build up instructions, and then make answer. The heart of the foolish is like a cartwheel, a cart heel, and the thoughts are like a rolling axe tree, a axe lit tree. 6, a stolen house is as a mocking friend, and he Nagarins, okay, hold on. Okay, and he is under everyone, that setteth upon him. Why does one day excel another, when as all the light of every day in the year is of the sun? By the knowledge of the Lord they were distinguishable. Listen to this here, verse 8. Ecclesiastes chapter 33 and verse 8. By the knowledge of the Lord they were distinguished, and he alters season and feasts. He altered seasons and feasts. Verse 9. Some of them had he made high days and hallowed them, and some of them had he made ordinary days. All men are from the ground. Adam was created of the earth. In much knowledge, the Lord divided them. See that? In much knowledge, the Lord had divided them and made their ways diverse. In much knowledge, the Lord had divided them and made their ways diverse. Some of them had he blessed and altered, and some of them had he sanctified and set near himself. But some of them had he cursed and brought low and turned out of their place, because we didn't keep the commandments. So what he did, he separated us. It says, in much knowledge, the Lord divided them and made their ways diverse. That means he made our ways different. In much knowledge, the Lord divided them and made their ways diverse. He made their ways, he had divided them and made their ways diverse. Some of them had he blessed and altered, and some of them had he sanctified and set near himself. But some of them had he cursed. Some of them had he cursed and brought low and turned out of their place. So that's what happened. That's exactly what he did. Yeah, that's what happened. But a lot of our people don't want to deal with that part of the knowledge. Yep. Hold on. Let's. People come in. They get out. And that's how you test people. People come in, hang out, they say, God bless you. And some people come in and they say, God bless you. And as soon as you say, I meant to say something about the commandment and how we keep the commandments, they hear out because they don't want to deal with that. No, they don't want to deal with that, child. So let me, I hate it. I kind of like stumbled with that where I struggled with that, with maybe that one or two word, excuse me, one of those two words I struggled with as I was going over it. I'm pretty sure I did an okay job with it, but I guess I'll just have to work on it until I can get absolutely better and perfect at it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because y'all know where I come from. If you watch a lot of my videos, I came from a background to where I grew up to where I was damaged in the hospital to the point of where it cut that part off, the part where I'm supposed to catch on and learn and actually learn and catch on to things. It actually, that part was attacked during my birth because one of the doctors, when they was delivering me, it actually messed that part up to where the part where it caused me to be able to catch on quicker and learn quicker and stuff. They destroyed that doing when I was being delivered, coming out the womb. But by the grace of the Most High, He still taught me what I needed to know. You see what I'm saying? Because I think God has times He knows that who gonna do His work. He knows when He chose you, the enemy is trying to come and make an attack on your mind and things of that nature. So I feel like that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? But by the grace of the Most High, He still taught me. He still brought me into a knowledge of this truth to the point where I can, I understand a good bit is to keep people from trying to trick me up or try to trick me to the point to where I can just go along with so on and so forth. When I don't do that, I'm grateful and I am thankful that I can take and I can go and look these things up for myself instead of just listening to other people, because it ain't like going and looking it up for yourself. Now I can defend the truth with the word of the Most High. When people say crazy things, all I have to do is just pick up my word and just debunk it. And just if they ain't lining up with these scriptures, I can't accept what they're saying, because He said in Acts chapter 5 and verse 29, we ought to obey God rather than man. Now, with that, I'm going to close on that. But this video is entitled, We Can Make Nothing Out of Something. Now I'm out.